Hello, Flashbangers. We're getting ready to have another awesome artist interview with Miss Mary Posa. Yes. I will let her tell you what she does, but I've been part of, well, I'll give this hint. I've been part of her amazing erotic salon. Yes, I threw down some of the erotic poetry, y'all. And she'll be able to tell you more about that. Hello. How you doing? NWOTDAM. Thank you for joining me. We will have our guests pop in a minute. Not the banging, the banging. Oh, not the banging, the banging. Whoa. So, hope you all are having a good week. Hope it's going all fine and dandy for you. Any questions so far? Thank you. Do you have any questions for me as we wait for our wonderful guests? My week is going interesting but okay. I discovered a phrase I quite like, and it is "you are a blue sky," meaning things, there will be different clouds, different storms, but you know what? You get to remain that blue sky. You just do. Thank you for asking. Yes. Any other questions? Any questions about Flashbang or the animation I'm developing? I think I could say a few things about that. Definitely about the graphic novel. Thank you. What would you like to know? Oh, hello. Sorry, our guest is here. All right. Hello. How are you doing?
Hi, am I stuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that one more time for me.
Am I stuck?
Oh no, you're perfectly moving.
I'm not seeing me moving.
Oh, okay. You are moving. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm sleepy.
I understand. I had a little bit of a self-care nap myself. And we have at least one other person glancing at our amazing selves, your amazing self. It is NWTDAM.
Okay.
Dam, who is
What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna go out and come back in
okay.
and see if it's any better.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Our guest will be back. Our guest will be back. Yes. Hello. Quotes picked. Quotes. Quotes depict. Yes. Quotes depict. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Our guest found her reception to be a wee bit fuzzy, so she has stepped out and she is going to come back in. And then we are going to begin. Here we go. Oh, Madtown. I got it. I see. Oh, that's dope. That's cool. Okay. You're good.
Mm.
Thank you for those hearts, Madtown. Much appreciated. So Howard, we have a real cool mouse that's red. So how are you doing? See, you said you are a wee bit sleepy. Do you think it's just that summer air?
Yes, nice and warm here in Barbados. I spent the most of the day out.
Mm.
I took myself on an adventure.
Okay.
So I had a wonderful day.
Oh,
I
that
had
is
a
wonderful.
wonderful day. I'm still on holiday, so I'm making the most of it.
No, I definitely appreciate that. I definitely can appreciate that. Did you see anything quite interesting on your adventure?
Yes, I am. No, it's very few people know that, but I am into environmental issues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I saw that was that stuck in my mind was there were a few beaches that I went on today. The
Mm-hmm.
roads are actually eroded so badly that the water is now coming under.
Ooh.
So it's really heartbreaking, and you're gonna have to be now looking to see how this can be fixed, how you can plant more trees,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a part of our island. Eventually, if it keeps going like that, you're gonna lose that side of things.
Mm. That's true.
You
That's true.
know?
There probably is a somebody probably may have done a video on like greenery replacement or replantation for an island.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
honestly, I think you can find almost anything on YouTube. But I definitely hope you find it. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry to hear that happen.
it's being done here though. It's being done here, but
Mm-hmm.
it is like, how are you going to get to that side? Because it is happening not only there, but different parts of the island as well. And it's like now with COVID and stuff, and everything has slowed down. It's
Mm.
like, how long would it take for that to be sorted out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, well,
But
thank you for
other
sharing.
than that, I saw some really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful beaches that I haven't seen in years.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Visited my old secondary school.
Oh, nice,
Some
nice.
things have changed. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was awesome. I had a grand time today.
I'm glad you had a grand time, and yeah, it's interesting and fun when we get to almost like time travel and kind of peek at the past a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Great memories.
Yes, yes, memory. I almost, I happen to like show tunes, so for like half a second, I was about to break out from that song in Cats uh,
Uh-huh.
with Grisabella. Hello, cousin. My cousin hopped on here, along with a few other folks. Um, hey, cousin. Uh, but yes, Mariposa, which for those who may not know in Spanish, although I have a feeling almost everybody on here probably does, it means butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly. So tell us about your fly. Huh? Yes.
Oh,
Oof.
and I saw lots of butterflies today. Lots of butterflies.
Oh,
Lots of them.
oh, nice. Were they big or small?
There were the white cabbage butterflies. Those are
Hmm.
kind of little. And then I saw my favorite one, the monarch butterfly.
Wow. Hmm.
And
Huh.
I saw about three different kinds.
Oh, nice. Maybe it's butterfly season. Hmm.
Well, here it certainly is.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is here. And I find they're attracted to certain plants.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, what I'm going to do when I get my own home,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure I have those plants around so I will always have butterflies around me.
Oh, yes. No, that sounds like an excellent idea. Here in California, I believe they have something called um, a hummingbird sanctuary, and I where I am actually, I'm not staying there, but I'm where if you get up early enough in the morning, you'll see little hummingbirds, and seen quite a few.
Yeah.
So it's funny that used to be like the bird I always wanted to see because they're just so majestic
Yeah,
and magical,
they are.
and
They are.
they can fly backwards.
I
That is
love
just
to
like,
see
you know what?
them
I don't
when
like
they.
it. I'm gonna fly backwards. I don't. Peace out. A-Town Stomp.
I love to see the hummingbirds, but especially when the sun hits
Mm-hmm.
them and the colors, the iridescence, they're just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yes, gorgeous, gorgeous, tiny little things. Quite artful in their design. Um,
Yes.
Speaking of art, please, Miss Butterfly, Miss Mariposa, let the amazing audience know what you do.
What do? I do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
On an artistic level,
Mm-hmm.
I write poetry, I write short stories, and now I'm actually attempting type of help with some. I'm attempting a novel,
Nice.
my first full-length novel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. It's mainly erotica, but it has a bit more in there which I will not reveal,
Okay.
right? But it's just trying something new because I don't believe in being stagnant, and I do believe that there are times when we have to just embrace our versatility and create new things.
Okay. No,
The sun is moving with me.
I see it's following. Um, no, I
Yeah.
think that sounds quite exciting. With your novel, will you be writing it in what's called like a fusion fiction, like a mixture between poetry and prose?
Yes.
Nice,
Yes.
nice, nice. Are you planning on independent? That is a nice
Yes, I
design.
will.
Very nice. Okay, so you're independently publishing too. Okay, cool beans, cool beans. Um, if you're looking for different grants, I'm trying to remember if it passed by already, but definitely check out the Creative Capital one. Wait, that's an
Mm-hmm.
American. Thank you for joining us. We're speaking.
I just lost everything you said.
Oh, and ma'am, I have to tell them this. I was speaking a little bit about it. She also hosts this incredible erotica salon, open mic, gathering of things, of sharing of warm feelings in flesh, warm feelings in flesh.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. This is definitely a yes, yes. And very warm and opening host, very welcome. And she's an environmentalist too, y'all. Yeah, so we definitely wanted to definitely point that out. Um,
Yes.
when do you feel, especially since you have been in so many things or are in so many things or art wise, where do you feel you first met art, and when do you feel you first met art, or when did it meet you?
Honestly, I would have to say I was about 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My godfather believed that a child, especially a female child,
Mm-hmm.
should be versed in her culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was enrolled in the Barbados Dance Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from there, I went from dancing to performing for what we have here. We call it NIFA, the National Independence Festival of Creative Arts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That time I was probably about 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am on this stage doing poetry
Nice.
for these hundreds of people watching me.
Wow.
And I actually got 2 awards for that. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took off from there.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't my own poetry, but I enjoyed poetry even at that age.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my school friends would always tell me, girl, you so weird.
Mm.
You know, and then when I went to the Alexandra School, there was Mr. Perry. He was my English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that I had a thing for writing.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always push me into different poetry competitions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, may he rest in peace. He was an awesome teacher.
Mm.
He always believed that whatever it is you wanted to write, you can write it however you wanted to write it. He
Right.
never restricted us, and he allowed us to use our own ideas. And for me, that was like really cool. But
Mm-hmm.
my first piece of erotica, I will never forget.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that when I was about 16. Now here I am, 16 years old, making erotica, and my silly cousin found it,
Ooh.
gave it to my mother,
Ugh.
and I got the whooping of my life.
Mm.
Because it's like, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be doing your schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't written erotica since then until like 2012.
Mm.
I was at university then, and I started back writing, and then this piece just came to mind. I said, what in heaven's name am I thinking? And I decided to put it on paper. And that one was kind of like a soft piece of erotica on painted lip.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of took off from there, because then every time I would start writing, you write on paper, you write on tissues, write on napkins.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be in the shower, and I'll shout the kids and tell them, write down these words for me. I'll finish it later. Because it's like, I find that sometimes when the idea hits, you got to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you may lose it. But then I find there are some ideas, they do not ever leave you.
True. Very true. Mm.
Right? So I just kept going from there. There's sometimes where when I actually have like writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, I would try to finish some pieces that are incomplete. And I find sometimes that helps pull me out from there. But one thing I've learned is when I got writer's block, do not force it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then sometimes I go back and I say, what the hell is that? Because honestly, I am my worst critic.
Mm. No, I definitely can feel you on that. I'm glad you had such inspirational teachers, you know, both your godfather who knew how important the arts were, and that you got to perform in front of hundreds of people that young, and you had that bravery to do that.
It was scary. It was scary. I can remember it well. But the good thing about it is the lights were really bright.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't see anybody.
Yeah, that works. That works. Maybe that's why they.
So it worked for me.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
Yes. And I also think you're very brave, because sometimes, like, when we get deterred from our purpose, you know, it can be really hard to, you know, go back. But I'm super glad that you have, you know, started to go back in this, because I'm definitely excited for what's going to come out the pipeline.
Oh yes.
What do you feel? And thank you for expressing how you deal with writer's block. I feel that that is something, I feel it's good to give advice on that, because I think I definitely experienced something like that this this year, as far as like
Mm-hmm.
writing my animation, because it was like I had to change
Uh-huh.
something. I wasn't sure how to do that, and I realized when I'm not sure how to do that, I
Right.
tend to move to something else. But I like
Mm-hmm.
the methodology that you expressed, like go back and kind of try to maybe write some unfinished pieces to kind of at least keep things stirring. um, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely feel being your own worst critic. I don't know. In some ways, for me, I can be a little bit of, to a point, the opposite of that, because like I know they said you're not supposed to like your first ride or it'll be bad, but I'm like, part of me, even though I am definitely in the seat of let's make this better, type A,
Uh-huh.
Virgo, I think it works for me. Um, but I'm like, I like this. Sometimes I'm like, I like this, and especially when I was writing that poem I shared, the one from the Vampire series,
Uh-huh.
will become a
Ooh,
TV
I love
show.
that.
I was enjoying that. I was enjoying that a great deal, especially when I went back and read. I'm like, "Ooh, this is fun! I can't wait to see this. It's great."
And the reactions from it, right?
Yeah, yeah. People really dug it. Like I was, looking at a bit of the comments when I was definitely sharing it. What do you feel draws you most to poetry, and what do you feel draws you most to erotica, which can be in poetry format, but.
Poetry, at one point in time, it started out as a healing process
Mm-hmm.
because I was abused,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not. And it kind of helped me express myself because I realized
Mm-hmm.
at some points I would just, instead of actually dealing with stuff, I would actually like, sweep it under the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I was at university, because I did psychology with social work,
Mm-hmm.
and I find a lot of things that we were talking about in class,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with domestic abuse,
Mm-hmm.
I could relate to that because it's like I went through it. But at the same time, it started bringing up a lot of things in me that I hadn't really dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So I started writing. It was kind of cathartic.
Mm-hmm.
I started writing. And then one day we were asked to do this presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I did mine in poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And the lecturer was like, but how could you write this? I said I lived it. She said nobody would believe it. I said I masked it because the piece that I wrote was about a mask,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I find we mask our feelings a lot, but I use poetry at first as a healing thing. And then I kind of like moved from the healing part to actually the enjoyable part of life.
Mm-hmm.
I will write about what's happening around me,
Mm-hmm.
write about what friends would tell me about their experiences,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And where erotica is concerned, it just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. Everybody, every little girl at least, has this thing about the knight in shining armor. Are you going to be saved? And all that stuff. So that's kind of where that started from. I
Mm-hmm.
was in love at the time. I will say love
Mm-hmm.
because in the end, he proved to be more detrimental to my health than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, now I will honestly say it was a period of growth for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a period of growth.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I look back at those pieces that I wrote back then,
Mm-hmm.
I laugh at it and I can see the growth in myself, not only as a writer, but as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, what do you know about this thing called love? And at the end of the day, you realize you learn what love is because you accepted what love is not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I got to romance. And erotica just happened because I always had a very, what we say, good imagination.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never say dirty mind. We had to have a good imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about the way, my style of writing,
Mm-hmm.
I like to write that people can, I leave it to your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plant the seed in your thoughts. But from there, you take it and make it your own. By the same time, I love the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I love to surprise people. I love the air mystery. Some friends of mine do raw erotica. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
raw erotica. I have tried writing it, and to me, it's not me, so I don't even bother with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the air of mystery in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little surprises. And it is like, it's not just only poetry and books, but you're creating something in people.
Mm-hmm.
And I am hoping it's a case where people are going to be, especially couples,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to take something from there
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to take it into your relationship and build from that. Not
Mm-hmm.
just hear it and let it come in and go out, but you build from that and you make a better relationship. You have fun,
Mm-hmm.
you explore, not boredom in your love life. So that's where we will talk later about grown up sexy.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. I feel it. I definitely like it. I like that you want erotica to be something healing, almost, or creationary. I think that's a word. If it's not, it is now.
Yeah. If it's not, we made it.
Yes, I'm gonna work it. I'm gonna work it. But yeah, no, I just I like that you see it in that way. It's funny, but like I gotta think of I know I'm writing erotica, and I might share a bit of that. But it's funny, like you have given me a new thought about why erotica can be written. It can actually help, like partners, bring something even better to the relationship with somebody who they're connected to. So I'm
Yeah.
feeling that. I'm feeling that. And then like I like how you mentioned that poetry also can be healing, and then it also can be for enjoyment as well. Um,
Yeah.
do you feel that like I personally like erotica because it excites me, and then I get to share my
It
excitement with
does.
others.
It
Um,
does.
but do you feel that? But that do you feel that art is art that can? Do you feel that art always starts as self pleasure, or that any a type of art can be built just solely for the self?
Hmm. I never thought of it that way. I never thought of it that way. I think art is on an individual level.
Hmm.
It's on an individual level.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I guess it's a case of perception.
Mm-hmm.
How the person receiving it perceives it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
When you know what when you say it definitely is individualized, I agree. I think everybody is going to have a different perception. So, do you think that?
Yeah.
Let me see. I asked about the individualized. But do you think that art will always be perceived outside the self? That even if I'm creating this thing for me and I'm just giving it one shade with my individuality, that it will always have a secondary meaning as well because it's somebody perceiving it, either hearing it, tasting it, smelling it. For sharks, bioelectric. Um, you know, it's fun. I love nature facts. Nature facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you feel that like art will always be secondary, always have a primary and a secondary because although it's individualized, there's always going to be another person to feel it, see it, touch it in some sort of way. Hello, little fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gifted.
That's Barbados in the house. He's another writer, the young one gifted.
Hello, Barbados. Hey, well,
But
everybody
yeah,
who's.
art will always have that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Art will always have its place.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like, one thing I would like for sure, I don't know about where you are, but here in Barbados, when you
Mm-hmm.
do artistic subjects,
Mm-hmm.
they are called the fairy subjects. I would like art to be
Mm-hmm.
given the respect that it deserves. Because for you to be an artist,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a whole lot of planning to do stuff. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of brain work. It's not one day you get up and you're gonna do something. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you're painting with a brush, you
Yeah.
have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Not well. When I paint, heaven help us all, everything looks abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to know what you're doing. So it's still your brain being used. So
Yeah.
art deserves, to me, a higher place where it is.
No, I fully agree with you. I think it's funny. Three things occurred to me. One, you said like in Barbados they think of them as the fairy subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like
Yeah.
light and airy and yeah, no, I mean I think over I'm in the I was about to say I was in the UK. I am not in the UK at all. Not the UK at all. I'm in the United. I don't. I was reading something on the UK. I'm in the
Uh-huh.
US, and it's weirdly more the same, and not because like Hollywood's this huge thing and it's art, but I think it also is treated a little bit of importance in that way because like the movie industry blew up so much, but it's an industry like America, is very capitalistic. So I think that's part of
Yeah.
the reason why that respect or honor is there. But for and at the same time, yes, in school I feel like depending on where you are or who you're with, it can be like your parents can, you know, see it as something not as serious. Or I think
Yeah.
especially for like
That's exactly what happened.
yeah, or this, your
Because I
family.
find
Mm-hmm.
some parents, when the children are doing our courses for their exams, it's like, why don't you buckle down and do something more serious?
Mm-hmm.
But it is like, this is serious for that person. And they
Yeah.
know what their goal is to be.
Right. No, I'm fully with you. Or the other thing, I think, especially for families of color or particular Black families or family of the Black diaspora, they're worried about you being able to eat and make money and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And while I like, part of me definitely understands that, especially if you're coming from, a folk who was severely oppressed in the market and this and that. I think that you can find ways to make it a business. You always can. It depends on the size and the scale that you want. And honestly, I agree with you. If we took this as serious as we are taking, some other subjects, starting in like, well, the good part about it, like in LA, I'm finding out instead of like maybe having a gifted section in school, they have magnet schools that might be dedicated to science. This might be dedicated to art. And Philly had those too a little bit, but I'm finding there seems to, I think, be more here. Maybe because of the, or the magnet school seems to be a bit stronger. The strength is with them. But I think if you started that seriousness as young or appreciation, not seriousness, because I think with any subject you need room to do it artistically, be it science or
Yeah.
painting, or because you need room to play, you need room to be allowed to both grow in that area as well as help the area grow, because if you could play, like you said, not a dirty mind but a creative one,
Exactly.
you're going to end up adding to it because you're drawn to that and that is your purpose in life. And then I think what we really need to understand, and I think I was blessed enough to go to a church when I was younger that encouraged things in art. Like we have a speakers contest that involves like several Baptist churches, and it also is an art contest, and you're like painting for the Bible. And I don't know, maybe it's because I came from Philly, and that is definitely, even though you still have some of those factors, it definitely is an artist town. Definitely is a poet town.
Mhm.
You know, um,
Okay.
yeah. So I think that may have gotten hooked into the church circulation in a way. So like that was honored, and yours truly, came in second place and got to lead the contest next year. Um,
Woo-hoo.
too. Um, but yeah, but I think if we need to recognize that, especially with arts, depending on what you believe, but where I'm coming from, there's a spiritual aspect to it. Like, I think King David played an instrument, right? just, for example. So I think in a way, like it, you're prophesying through your art. You know what I'm saying? Why
Yeah.
are you trying to why are you
Yeah.
trying to shut down a prophet? I'm just curious, because we're in very
Exactly.
interesting in modern times. And who's to say a prophecy won't come through some kid's painting? You know what I'm saying? Or a poem.
And it's
Or
like when you write, you're writing what you want to see happen. You're manifesting it in your
yeah.
writing.
Right, exactly. So it's like, writing some horror, hey, watch out. But it's funny, my teacher, Sanana Reeve Dew, said the American racism is, with like, especially looking at the stuff we're dealing with now that pops up in the news. If you like, I won't say take race out of it because I am happy to live this existence, but if you kind of like switch it to like they're doing this to these people and like kind of move it away from you, I have moments where I go, oh my God, that is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So writing hard
Mm-hmm.
to not live that, to not
Yeah.
have that come true is super important, like you said, I feel erotica, good erotica, or erotica, it's there's different ways to be good in it. Can like heal people, add new things to relationship. Hey boo, she taught. It puts me in the mind of Girlfriends. Now Lynn, one of the characters, Lynn, had lied about her prowess in sex, but she had a move called like the Lynn spin, and I was until I realized later about what that could look like. I was confused about what that could be, but I'm like, how? Because like there's a person or people, and like, how do you like swing your leg around? How do you get? How anyway? But but yo, it can like,
You were becoming one with that piece. That's what happens.
I guess so. I was like trying to work it out in my head. I'm like, usually I can visualize stuff, but how does this one? I'm confused. But yo, it erotica both can like, definitely give partners, let's give them something to talk about. And at the
That's
same
right.
yeah, and at the same time, it could also give humor too, because like low key, like my writing has some terrifying moments in it. Not the erotic. Well, no, I was writing about vampires. I want to add more to that. That was fun. Or different creatures. There's a werewolf in there, a vampire, unicorn.
I enjoyed that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I can't wait to go back and like see how I can make it even better. And like but then like there's humor in it too, because like I think I put something in it, like somebody in my stuff is gonna say something that's gonna make you crack up. Like it could be the worst situation, but I will like because like with Teddy Ninja, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna like in my head with the cartoon, I can totally imagine somebody said, listen Bill the bastard. Now I thought another word, but I'm not gonna say that one. Listen Bill the bastard,
Okay.
you need to stop having an attitude for somebody that's short and furry. First of all, first of all, don't talk about me and my height or me. I don't appreciate that. You know what? I'm just gonna cut you. Where is my sword? And think about that, like how important. I'm tired of you playing with me in this alleyway.
I like the little one.
So like, yo,
I like those pieces.
No, it's great.
I love them.
But yo, that's why our like what we do is so important. Like nowadays, especially now, no, you need a sense of humor. You need something sexy in the air.
You do.
Yeah,
You
like,
do.
And I loved your salon, people. When she starts having it again, you got to go to it. You're just gonna leave with a smile on your face. Now I went out and did my exercise. May have kicked the leg too high. I was happy. I had Monday to look forward to. I'm like, oh, it's been
You're
a
gonna
little
love
rough.
Mondays. You're gonna love Mondays now,
Yeah.
man.
Yes, I was like, it's been a little rough. We're gonna have poetry about sex. This is great. Let's do that. And I love that you're talking about how like there's different different spaces of erotica where there's just straight up raw, like Hakeem threw and it went woo, just like I don't know, that's not anything people say. But yeah, but then also there's the went over here, and then the shadow gently painted across his skin. You know, so
Yeah.
it is super exciting in how you are turning and twisting things. How did you get started? That was another question I definitely wanted to get. How did you what gave you the idea? I'm very excited, people, as you can see in the whites of my eyes. How did you get the idea to start the erotica open mics salon? I've been calling it salon because I feel especially artistic when I say that.
I love it. I love it.
The erotica open mic. I'm a smile. Show my cheekbones.
How should I? Honestly, I've been drawn since COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
I personally needed a space to perform, and some friends of mine they've been hosting their own open mics, but it would be historic, oppression, not issues. All different sorts of things, but not erotic. There wasn't really a platform for erotic open mic. So I told myself, I don't feel comfortable going in their space performing erotic stuff. Now, I am a very versatile person. I write some of everything. But I realized my favorite one is erotica. And I wanted somewhere to do erotica. So I created it, not only for myself, but for some other persons I know that love erotica. And then, you just meet new people and they come in and they share. And it's just awesome. So that's how Grown and Sexy actually started.
I feel that you created, what I'm hearing is that you created a space where there was none. You use the act of creation to paint a lovely and wonderful dance. And I love how you really within this will encourage the new people, or people who may not, first time I've done this, I'm not sure, but just kind of give that wonderfully encouragement, your own particular brand of encouragement, sensual encouragement to go ahead, be your sexy self. Let's go. She didn't say it like that.
Just do the thing.
Yes. And then I'm trying to remember. We had this one girl on here. I'm glad you enjoyed my stuff, but listen, y'all, pay attention to her page. I am going to make sure she says this before we get off this horn, because there's this one girl who came in. Her voice is just roll back. She just had that voice, y'all. She just had that voice. I could listen to this woman reading the newspaper, and I would leave with a smile. That's how wonderful.
Coco Janelle.
Her voice was built for this, especially for this salon.
Yes,
she was excellent at it. And that one poem she did was y'all, it had a twist that I didn't see coming. And usually I could kind of usually because I analyze. You can
anticipate them.
She was able to twist them around. You're like, yo, oh my gosh, did that happen? And I love that within this woman's poem, within this space, that she was able to tell a story that I'm hoping she publishes this somewhere, y'all. I forgot the title of that.
That night was something else. I remember that night because I remember I told her to stop and come again. I wanted her to start all over again.
Yeah. Woo. Y'all, you got to be part of it. I'm telling you. You got to go to this open mic. And you will leave and just have new things on your mind. Just new things. And thank you for coming in, those who have joined us. But yo, I have my brand of writing has been, my brand of writing has definitely been Afrofuturism. So that's going to be science fiction, fantasy, horror, a lot of the chocolates, some other folk, a lot of the chocolates. But I do have sex poems that I have written, and I'm glad that there was a space to share. And what I also like is that, my poem was super inclusive, had lovely shades of the rainbow. I don't think that got expressed till later in the poem. That's kind of where I actually ended up stopping a little bit.
That made my mouth just open and close in that night.
Oh, I did that night. It just, it was about to get even more magical. That's all I can say. There was more.
Awesome.
There was more stuff. But like I love that I was able to read that there. And now, to be honest, I'm low key thinking. I'm low key thinking about maybe doing an erotica poetry book under my other name. I have like what I'm I discussed with within my like, animation writing class, because they like brought in teachers. You could have like, let's say I want to end up writing like kids fiction. I could just use my regular name,
Uh-huh.
but I also do have.
Ooh, you're stuck.
Okay, got a bad connection all of a sudden. What I was saying was definitely being part of your open mic has made me start thinking about maybe a little bit later publishing an erotica, poetry book. I'm thinking about it and
Good.
just doing it under another name, or
Good.
the name I wrote my other erotica. I might. And I got some visual artist friends too, so this is about to be on fire.
Nice.
Um,
Because one of
yeah.
the things that I want where this is concerned is for
Mm-hmm.
people to be comfortable with themselves, comfortable with their own sexuality. And
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be able to grow through it, not only as a writer, but as a person, because one of the things I
Mm-hmm.
do too is motivational speaking. And I believe in self
Oh.
love. I believe in being the
Mm-hmm.
best you that you can be. And I
Yeah.
will people book. It doesn't have to be a very big of erotic hearing it.
Oh, Mariposa, we're blanking out a little bit at parts, so I'm going to try
Yeah,
to
really.
as much as before we have to unfortunately conclude. And we're actually you've just shared so many wonderful things and wonderful pieces of thought that yeah, we're kind of getting close to that time. So now we come to the fun question.
Oh,
We
shit.
come to a couple fun questions, Mariposa. But I definitely agree with you. I think that before we go to the fun questions, um, I love that you are encouraging people to be themselves, to be all themselves within their sexuality, whatever that means to a person. Even if it's
Mm-hmm.
like, their form of sex might be just mental. Just like, we look at each other and that's it.
Right.
You know, or, gray sexuality kind of being there, but like most of the time, maybe not. So I like that you're leaving space for all different types of people, and to definitely publish a book of erotica
Mm-hmm.
and to be comfortable sharing it. That one, that definitely, it's great that you are leaving a space for growth, because like human sexuality, both, whether you're asexual or aromantic and that's not part of you, the absence of something is, how do I put this? I feel like, room for everybody on a type of spectrum, whether it's absolutely no or hey, 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 every day, is so important to. It's important, I won't say the absence of something, because I feel that's taking away from that particular like power, but it's important definitely that within a branch, all folk are considered, and I like how in the
Yeah.
space where people possess that, or possess like sexual attraction in some form or romantic attraction in some form, that you are, leaving space for that. And whether the, romance be like, maybe I'm, not interested in sex Now, Mary.
Oh, we having some technical problems here now. I lost you for a bit just now. It's breaking up. It's breaking up. Yeah, I can now. I can.
Okay, can you hear and now?
I'm losing you.
Okay, 1 second. Can you see and hear me now?
Yes,
Okay.
way better.
Maybe I can't give a completely fun question, but I will ask this question. I know you were looking forward to it. What do you feel is your legacy, and do you feel that will be the thing that stays here the longest for you?
Mm.
And are you immortal through it?
Let's just put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I love my crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I love my crystals. I love my waist bead.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy my femininity. I am a goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And my legacy will be for people to enjoy their own sexuality.
I love that.
Because
I love that. I'm with it.
when
I'm
I
with it.
grew when
I
I
feel it.
grew up, everything
I
was
received that. I
everything was
received that.
taboo. Right. When I grew up, everything was taboo. And you couldn't talk about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do certain things. And I was always very curious as a child. And I always had a habit I would touch.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't always a sensual touch, a
Mm-hmm.
sexual touch, but I always would touch. And I always like to feel things and smell things and taste things to experience them.
Mm-hmm.
And I find people need to appreciate around them,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be sexual. And that's something a lot of people do not ever realize.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be sexual.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. You want people to be able to enjoy your legacy. You feel that people can enjoy their full senses, and that you're.
Exactly.
And if I caught that correctly, you're because you are a goddess. Your spirit will always remain.
Exactly.
Did I get it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel special. Feel special in here. Mary Posa, where can people find you in this amazing soul?
I don't do Facebook as often, but so the best place to find me would be here on IG, Mariposa_BQ.
Mm-hmm.
You can get into my DMs and send me a message if you want me to perform, if you want me to come and speak. I have another account, but this one, Mariposa_BQ, I find is the most popular one.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I will be doing when the show resumes, I will be including businesses on a regular basis, but the businesses have to be tied in with erotica. It have to be tied in with self-love. And that you have to be able to show people, okay, when you use my products, they're going to bring you closer to yourself, bring you closer to your loved ones.
I like that.
Right? So, yeah, we went on a different level this time around.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Level up, goddess. Level up. I like it. I like it.
That's right. Yes. That's right. I took a break. I knew what I was doing. So we did 11 shows last season. I'm calling it seasons.
Yeah.
So this season we're going to do another 11 with 11 entrepreneurs. So here's hoping to even bigger and better.
Okay, no, I'm feeling that. Now, you know what I was thinking about doing? And this would
What's
be
that?
with your business. I really want to, I don't know if I'll be able to do it now, but design a healthy, healthy lingerie line, and it would be for anybody, any
Ooh.
human that likes lingerie. For those who, men, women who happen to possess a vajayjay, there's certain health things you have to like do, and one of the things that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, or was like wearing white underwear, wearing something that is like not dyed,
Right.
but you want, you might want to be cute. You might want to be cute out in these streets. So I
Yes.
want to design something that is both, you know, breathable, and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time doesn't have dyes, but is really sensual and beautiful, or however,
Mm-hmm.
or kind of masculine too. Like, so there's going to be I'm going to end up doing that later. I'm a
Yes, you
manifester.
will.
In
Yes, you will,
fact,
because what I do,
mm-hmm,
as long as I know somebody wants to do something, I get behind them.
mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be in your DMs, make you miserable for this.
um, a bit of let's not do the miserableness. I'm more of a positive reinforcement type person. Um, I will
Okay.
tell you this, and we have like 2 minutes. This has been a good conversation. I hope you'll come back.
Of
I
course.
Thank you. I actually have material where I got like I was gonna make my friend a stuffed animal, and I still am. But I'm thinking of like actually designing a prototype for what I'm thinking about. So I might it might be an after dark special, but I think I'm going to I might just shoot you a picture of what it looks like once I finish it. I might
Sounds
play with it.
good.
I'm seeing it. But thank you so much, Mariposa _ BQ, for coming through. And I look forward to the next time you'll join us.
Take care, darling.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes.
No problem.
Yes. Oops, okay. Well, y'all, thank you for coming through. And I'm actually going to get a real cool signing off saying, let's try this one. May the flashbang be with you. All right. Bye-bye.